Afternoon, everyone. First of all, thanks for taking the time this late in the day, this late in the week. We appreciate it. So my name is Robert Henry. I am a global black belt at Microsoft within our Surface business and our modern workplace business. I have the distinct honor of doing three things today. One is just kind of kicking this off. Number two is at the end, does everybody have a ticket? Because at the end, apparently I am pulling a number and somebody's going to walk away with a Surface Surface Hub 2 or Book 2? No, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. Surface Hub 2, right?
Give me in that route.
No, I mean a Book 2. So we'll, now the only caveat with the Surface Book 2 is it's going to be AutoPilot enabled for Andersen. So you might want to talk to these guys afterwards about.
These people can win.
It's just these folks over here are eligible. So again, I jest. So what, and my third thing is I'm the handler for these guys. As you'll see as we go through this, they're a rowdy bunch. But they're a great customer to work with and a great company with some great culture. So we had this idea a while ago that the things that they're doing are really, really kind of cutting edge and leading edge. Some of it is unique from a culture standpoint to Andersen, but a lot of it is repeatable and applicable to a lot of our other customers. And so they're gracious enough to come up and talk today about their deployment of Microsoft 365 along with Surface. So the only thing I want to put out there as we have this conversation to frame it is we do a lot of marketing as a company, as you would expect. We have a lot of taglines and a lot of different things. One of which, of course, is talking about Surface being the best expression of M365. And I just want to set some context for that to help you guys understand that we really put our money where our mouth is. I've been in the Surface business for almost 5 years now, and back in March we made a decision as a company to reorganize our engineering efforts and teams to something called Experiences and Devices, was one of our key groups. And if you think about that and I make that kind of tangible to what that means Microsoft 365 and our Surface products. And so what that means to all of you and to Andersen is that at an engineering level, down at the lowest levels, below the silicon, down at the steel, we're doing development between our groups on how we can innovate much quicker, how the different teams can connect to do things that have never been done before in the Windows ecosystem. And so this is a kind of a proof point to what that is and how we are doing that, and the value that it brings to folks like Andersen. So we're going to start off with Pam, and she's going to talk a little bit about culture and how they look at their user community. And then we're going to move over into to talking with Jerry about some of the back end stuff and how to enable it and bring some operational efficiency into the business. And then we're going to wrap up with Barry, who's going to talk about kind of the user experience and what their users have been. It's an incredible story. Considering how young AutoPilot is and really just 6 months ago, this engineering effort. So I think you're going to get a lot out of it. So I'm going to take a break, pass it over to you, and I'll see you back at the end to give away the Surface Book 2. Thank you.
All right. So I'm Pam Carmichael with Andersen Corporation, and I'm part of the Managed Services team. The customer comes first every day when we come to work. We talk about the customer as first, but who is the customer? We just had Robert talking about who his customers are. Our customers are our end users. If they use our device, if they use our services, they're a customer, and their experience is the first thing we care about. If we have to work a little differently to make that experience better, then we're open to working differently. So the value proposition that we're trying to run with is automation, so AutoPilot, Surface, the power of the hubs, collaboration, again, the hubs, running efficient meetings, less travel. When you can communicate with people through these hubs and your devices, you can do shared whiteboards. There's no reason everybody has to be in the same room anymore to have a very effective meeting. And then just the Surface devices. We want devices on demand. So the beautiful world is, if you need a device, you come to the tech cafe, we hand you a computer just like a piece of paper, and you walk out. It installs your software for you. It knows what applications you want. And as you progress and need more applications, you get software on demand. That's the ultimate world for our customer experience. This, I believe, is you, Robert. Skip? Okay.
Surface use cases are pretty standard. Surface Pro is our tablet for our mobile users, the users that are out in the field, remote salespeople, people that want lightweight device. Surface Laptop is your standard laptop for your end users. Surface Book 2, Surface Studio, those are the high-end CAD engineers, software developers, and then of course our Surface hubs are pretty much going in the majority of our conference rooms. We do have a couple of these mobile hubs that they can check out, and pretty much they're checked out constantly. Move to conference room to any meeting area, anything like that.
But just a shout out, the Surface hubs are priceless. I was a little negative when we first started it. You can't even get to use the Surface hubs at our company right now because everybody scoops them up and books them for 2 and 3 months at a time. Extremely impressive device. I highly urge you just to try it.
Our current staff, we have what, 12 technicians? Right around there?
Roughly around there.
And a lot of heavy workload, a lot of imaging and deployments, application, manual installs, a lot of sneaker net stuff that's actually going on. What we started doing is we started taking a look at AutoPilot back in November. We started playing with it. We saw some immediate gains in productivity, being able to actually just start deploying, self-deploying devices, let the users do their own stuff. And we just progressed through. We actually partnered with Sean Pirtle and Robert at Microsoft to actually start going through some of these steps. Started meeting, started doing a few additional things. Just allowed us to actually take a look and see how we could actually repurpose our technicians to actually start doing some additional opportunities, work in other areas. Our deployment technicians are going to drop dramatically as far as how many of those people they need to actually touch any device or actually work with the end user. So we have a lot of operational efficiencies that we actually are looking to gain from this. Between AutoPilot, Software Center, Intune, co-management, I think we have a big win coming up for us in 2019. There's no change in the definition of work. Well, there's no image management that we're going to actually be doing afterwards. No drivers, no having to do all these additional things. Removal of technician time, like I said, so that they can go on and do their own things. Current rollout of devices, technicians are actually getting end user credentials so that they can cache their credentials before being shipped out. We do have a heavy remote workforce on this. So to me, that's just bad practice. I'm not a fan of having somebody else's credentials. The enrollment, our hardware provider, SHI, actually enrolls all of our devices to AutoPilot before shipping. So these devices are ready to go as soon as we place the order. It's pretty much done. Of course, using AutoPilot, it's all about automation, removing the technician-induced errors, removing self-inflicted wounds, removing the need to actually have to go and re-image because somebody did some bad practice. And of course, Windows Update, staying current with everything. Windows Update for Business, the co-management piece. So some of the challenges that we had out of the gate with AutoPilot. So we partnered with SHI. Steve, Jamie, Kevin, right here up in front. For AutoPilot, they assisted us in resolving some items that we were actually having an issue with. We use BitLocker. Current version of Windows that was actually on there, we were running into the issue of user elevation requirements. They provided an application, BitLocker Trigger, that allowed a standard user to BitLocker just enables and it's encrypting right out of the gate. Also validation of scripts for our application installations, the Azure storage blob for storage of all of our stuff to start doing some of these things. We were running into issues with Windows 10 subscription or the activation of Windows 10. Found out that the $0 SKU that we kept being told was applied to our tenant was not. Special thanks to Alexa for actually tracking that down for us. So we did get that all through. We also had one of our pilot users that did not have MFA configured, so they got to the point of logging in, and that's as far as they got. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't configure all that stuff. And off to Barry.
Uh-oh. Sorry, I got all my notes on there. I guess as an end user, I'll have to leverage one of our new things, the Tech Cafe.
Take a new computer.
Oh, thank you. Great. So, with AutoPilot, all I have to do is go through a few initial screens and get the UBI out of the way, and voila. I'm sitting at, welcome to Andersen Corporation. I'm connected to our Intune environment. I put my credentials in here, and this is what our end users will be doing when they get their new machine, if they happen to do what I just did. Or if they're on a life cycle for a refresh, they're going to get in there, they're going to plug their credentials in the exact same way. And then we just started doing this thing called known folder move, enterprise sync roaming, which enables us to have all of our documents not stored locally, but up in the cloud in OneDrive. And I'll be able to recover my data, and I'll be going to my meeting in 2 hours or less. The other part of this is it's still, like Jerry had alluded to earlier, co-managed. So we use an on-prem SCCM environment to manage everything within the walls, and then Intune for anything that's outside. All right. So as I just did my login that's set up in my company, and all of a sudden now look, I'm getting presented with my password.
This is live, by the way. This
Yeah.
isn't actually pre-recorded. This
No,
is
this is
how
actually-
simple it is.
Yep, it is simple. So while that's going on, I just want to touch base on the Surface products a little bit. So what we're doing is we're offering up the line of Surface for our individuals to kind of choose on their basis of what fits their business need. We have, obviously, Jerry touched that. We have the Surface Pro, the laptop, the Book 2, the Studio. And most of our individuals are getting, the laptop. But then when they see, well, he's got a nice Book 2, and it seems to be running around, I want that. We're flexible. We're going to give you what fits your business need.
And from a managed service perspective, these devices are priceless from a footprint. Our footprint is about 50% less than it was with our previous models. Same docking station, same pen, same mouse. You don't have to have a different dock for every different model. So from my perspective, managing inventory, it's so much simpler. And I'm going to figure out how much to charge Barry for this.
Oh. Yeah.
That's all right.
I was on the network, and apparently I'm not on the network anymore. Anyway, that's one of the very first things in the beginning, connect to the network. All right, the value of the Surface products. As Pam just mentioned, the pen, the mouse, if you like the dial, it's good across the board. All of them. Don't have to go and buy one mouse for this one mouse for that, pen the same way. They're all connected via Bluetooth to the device. When we first rolled out the Surface products to our business, we ran into a couple challenges. And the challenge is we weren't rolling out external monitors for individuals. We kept what they had. So some of them had legacy monitors which had one type of input, VGA. How do you get around a VGA? Well, we use the dock. The dock that comes with the device is a single dock, again, across the board, all three platforms, the Pro, the laptop, the Book 2. The output on that is a mini D cable. So what did we do to get over that challenge? We stocked ourselves with mini D to VGA adapters, a straight cable from the dock to the monitor, allowing us to go with an extended view monitor. But then the individual said, well, what if I go to the conference room over there and I want to project? Next thing we did was we came up with a dongle adapter, which allowed them to carry that with them and connect in the conference room. Either you're going to connect with the VGA, or we also had the option of the HDMI, which some of our conference rooms have that input as well. And then another challenge came again. Well, the Surface Book 2 comes with a USB-C adapter, not a regular USB or a mini D. So we had to go and get another another adapter to get us through that hurdle. No problems. So what do we do so we can make this available for everyone? As part of our Tech Cafe offerings, we got this thing, what's called an IT vending machine. So the individuals walk up, they see what they like, they take their ID badge, scan it, choose it, drops, away you go. Simple charge back to their cost center. No problems, and everyone's happy. Another thing with the new Surface devices and the Windows 10 is we've equipped a lot of our conference rooms with the Microsoft WIDI adapter, so that wireless display adapter, which allows a lot of people to not have to have the dongle adapter when they go to their conference rooms. Windows K, bam, look at it, make sure you're connected to the right room, connect, and you're good. This big thing here, in case people aren't familiar with this is a Surface Hub. This is the 84-inch. We've actually installed a few of these in our facility. Like Pam said, it's great for conferencing. No one has to be in the room with you. It's all you use Skype to connect to it. You can use Teams on it to connect to it, if that's what you're using in your environment. And then you get the block, and everybody sees you because it has dual cameras. If there's people moving in the room, it tracks you, and the microphone picks you up as well. We started to use these a lot more. We actually introduced a couple of mobiles, like this one's on a mobile wheel. We have a 55 on a mobile. I think we're looking to get another one in our environment on another set of mobile wheels so we can make them available. Like Pam said, we have it in our Outlook as a scheduled option, and it's booked. It's booked all the time. So if you're looking to get something like that, I'd look to get it. Obviously, this model is no longer available, but as soon as that 2 comes out, get your name in there and start ordering some of them. And then I see Jerry is getting us past our challenge on the network. I logged in. Okay. Okay.
So I'll just make one more comment while Robert hobbles up here. We do really take the customer experience serious, and we are still getting a huge complaint, and it's a complaint we don't know how to address. The complaint today is, why can't I get my Surface product now instead of waiting for my lease to end? That's a great problem to have.
There you go. And so how are you handling that problem?
We actually do allow people to hold their lease early, and they have to pay for 2 leases.
And so are people actually paying for a second lease then to get a Surface device?
Yes, they are.
Isn't that something? Wow. Wow. I'm going to, and if there's any questions in the audience, please grab a mic and do it. Talk a little about, I'm going to talk to Jerry here. Talk a little bit about your move to Intune from Config Manager and kind of what was involved with that. You mentioned co-management, and this isn't scripted. I'm just throwing this out here at these guys now. So talk a little bit about what that was like.
Actually, it was pretty easy with 1806. As Brad Andersen, I followed a lot of his stuff actually going through with 4 clicks to co-management. Wasn't really too painful. It was actually fairly straightforward. The nice thing about that is we're actually taking a look at everything that we have in SCCM right now and starting to offload some of our workload over to Intune. Thomas has actually been taking the lead on some of that stuff. So as we start getting a little bit deeper into Intune, we'll start moving a lot more options, configurations, policies. We're currently looking at Windows Defender with information security right now. We're doing some work looking at that, moving towards there.
And the M365 side of this, just give the audience a little bit of color into what you guys are using. We've heard Skype and Teams and enterprise state roaming and some different things. Just help everyone just kind of get a sense of what you guys are doing on M365 all up.
So enterprise state roaming was actually rolled out to the entire enterprise inadvertently. We were doing some testing, doing some working, got sidetracked. We had all the configurations in a validation group policy set. There was change made to, I think it was trusted site list, that actually we lost all of our group policies. It flushed everything out. So we actually had to export from our validation into production. And lo and behold, it just started working. Things started flowing across all your devices. But that was enterprise sync roaming. So that was actually kind of nice, actually having all your desktop, your favorites, your things just moving everything around. Known folder move, we actually have implemented that in our validation group as well. It's been working pretty flawlessly. We're getting ready to go through change to actually implement that across the enterprise. So we'll start using OneDrive for all of our devices. So it's getting better for us to be able to actually do what Barry did and actually drop your computer, throw it, do whatever. And on any device, you just log in and all your stuff is there. So just like this, I just logged into this since Barry was talking. So my stuff is now coming down. It's just there, my background, my everything. So
another cool thing that this team has done, a huge kudos to them, is managing the tech cafe can be super stressful. You get some of the weirdest questions, and you're not going to know everything, and we try to be really good about telling our technicians, we don't expect you to know everything. So this group set up a Teams group, and at any time if the technician's having trouble, you can ping anybody. They're all watching it. They can help the technician through it, and then he's not sitting there all fumbling around and getting nervous in front of the customer. The customer has no idea that he's actually asking for help, and the customer walks away happy. The technician learned something new that they wouldn't have known 10 minutes ago. So it's a remarkable process.
Yeah, and to touch base on that, as we mentioned, the Tech Cafe, what it is it's basically like an L-shaped counter, or a counter like you would be sitting at the coffee shop, for instance. We got a flat top here. I would be the technician, for instance. We have chairs out here, and they would come up and ask us questions. And why do we do that? Because we all don't want to call the service desk all the time. Some of us would say, well, I'd rather just live with it and figure out later, or Google it or something later. To be able to walk up and say, hey, I'm having a problem with this. Can you help me? I'll be glad to give that a look, and let me see if I can resolve it for you. That's what the Tech Cafe is for. Instant resolution. And if they can't resolve it there, that's where we come into play, and we will give the hand, and we'll resolve that problem, or at least look at what we can do to resolve that problem.
And where does one get a adapter vending machine? It's one of the questions I had.
IBM. IBM produces the machines. We had custom wrappers put on ours, so they're Andersen marketed. And they have decreased peripheral orders by 62%. People love walking up. It's immediate gratification. That's what it's all about.
Should have brought one with you.
Well,
Been a good branding opportunity.
I saw a picture
may-
of it in someone else's promo.
It might be about as heavy as this. Oh, yeah.
Give us a little bit of additional insight into kind of the users. I mean, Pam, you mentioned there is a request for double leasing and people willing to pay. What is it about the experience between the M365 applications and the Surface itself that are driving that? And before you answer that, I want to give just a little bit of additional context. Different customer, but I had a conversation with a customer a couple of weeks ago. And we were in their catalog, and he made the comment, this is a tough customer, they're not one of my favorites, but they made a comment that they have two of the two-in-one devices in their catalog. One is Surface, the existing Surface Pro device, and one is what he referred to as the Surface Imitator that's out there from one of the OEMs. And he mentioned, and I don't mind saying it, that the Surface Imitator is running a faster processor, so it runs about 30% faster, and it's actually cheaper than the Surface device. And I thought he was going to start flooring me for what's going on and how we're going to handle this. But his next comment was one that was really interesting. He said 85% of their users still pick Surface Pro out of the catalog, even though those differences exist. And I'm very interested. I know what his answer was and why, and the power of the brand. But kind of give us some context in your environment as well.
So I had someone say to me last week, they had their pen in their hand, and I got the pen is mightier than the sword. And I was just like, drop the mic, impressed, because they actually were using the pen how it was meant to be used. It's not just for doodle art. It's for all kinds of things. And that's just one example of the productivity gains you get with the Surface products. I don't know if anyone here has used the mouse dial on a studio. If you're a design engineer, oh my gosh, your job is immensely easier. You're taking your 3D models and you're actually using them with your hand instead of trying to learn how to do the mouse clicks like you would with a typical SolidWorks environment. And then to be able to share a whiteboard. I don't want to just watch somebody in a Skype meeting. I want to participate in that meeting. And for me to be able to participate from somewhere else on that same whiteboard, incredible. So it's all of the extra productivity gains that you get from these tools that make our users that excited.
Now, I heard rumor that some of our folks were up doing a plant tour. I don't know if you guys were part of that a couple of weeks ago. And you have executives that make it a habit of detaching the Surface Book clipboard and using that. Talk a bit about kind of how I've seen that a few times when I've been up there. Talk about kind of your executives and their experience as users, and then also I'll have a second part to that question as well, but let's start there.
Yeah, so we do have a director that basically uses his book too as a tablet. For any meetings, he always detaches. He's always handwriting notes in OneNote to actually jot all of that. He's done it ever since he had an iPad, and then he basically tossed the iPad as soon as he got his book too.
I had reports it was another executive.
Yes, it was probably Grant.
Yes.
My guess from marketing. He loves his device. I think he thinks he's cool, to be honest.
You can tell him he is.
You look really cool when you have your tablet and your pen. And what I like about the way Grant uses it is he doesn't use it just for scribbling, but he is truly like cutting and pasting out of Power BI, doing markups with his team in a Skype meeting, showing them where they need to be more productive, either to grow sales volume or maybe look at a little different product configurations that they're selling at the time. So he uses it a little different than the mic example, but they're both very, very productive examples.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it without those tools.
Yeah, the Surface devices across the board, they all just operate the same way. So there's a lot less learning curve moving to a new device.
And what about executive kind of buy-in to the whole AutoPilot modern management piece? That's a pretty big step for a lot of companies. What kind of give the audience a little bit of flavor into what kind of how that was sold into the kind of executive ranks to get buy-in into doing this?
Well, do we want to talk about our January?
Yeah, I don't have any more leading questions into that.
No, that's not a problem.
This is your last
This was
chance.
a good one.
So we actually have a annual sales and service meeting. Last year we brought the Tech Cafe to them here in Orlando. So it was Rick and I that were here doing support with Pam, and I know Aaron was here. Carly wasn't at that one. But we were doing the Office 365 rollout at that time, so we were providing support, actually moving them over to the new Office product. This year in January, they asked us to come back. We're going to take this opportunity. We're going to roll out 500 devices during this one-week sales and service conference to their new devices. They're up for refresh in February, so this is actually going to happen in the third week of January, I believe.
So I understand this correctly. You're going to take 500 shrink-wrap devices, put them in front of sales and service people, and self-provision them with AutoPilot.
Correct.
We will not be touching 500 computers except to hand it to that salesperson.
Wow.
No more.
Very impressive. That's a round of applause. Yeah, that's very progressive. All right. Hey, we do have the device, but I am not going to do a draw for the device until we get some questions from the audience. That's my my forcing function. First of all, how many of you have taken a stab at AutoPilot in your own organizations, first of all, and piloted it out? Let me say that it is a very simple process to pilot, and I want Jerry, just before we get some questions here, I want Jerry just to kind of give you all a little bit of information on how they got started. He mentioned we piloted as a company AutoPilot with Surface back a year ago, July. I got engaged with these guys at Thanksgiving and did some pre-production piloting with them. But Jerry, just before we get in, thank you, gentlemen, for getting up and jump to the mic. Before we get there, just talk about that whole pilot process and kind of how easy it was and some of that.
So Michael Niehaus at Microsoft, I follow a lot of his blogs, a lot of his posts and everything like this. And back, I want to say October timeframe was when I started reading on AutoPilot. So I just started taking a peek at things, got access to the Intune environment at Andersen, and we were able to start following his stuff with what he was doing. Baby steps doing this, and as a matter of fact, that time that we met at Edina office at Microsoft, that was Pam's first stab at actually logging into a device using AutoPilot. So it was just it was a no-brainer to me. I like staying current on new deployment technologies. You know, I've been doing MDT SCCM for the better part of a decade, over a decade now. So to me, it's just a natural shift to reduce my workload, reduce Barry's workload, make an improvement to our end users and their processes and how long it takes to deploy a device.
So I'll encourage you to reach out to your partner or your Microsoft folks, and if you've got a Surface device or two, it's real easy to get going on that. But let's jump to the mic. Thank you, first of all.
Sure. Nice. I actually work for Essler Companies. We're one of the Renewal by Andersen affiliates, and I run IT for those guys, so pretty new at it, but new at this company, but wanted to say hello. And so I'm curious about the scale. I don't know if I maybe missed it or not, but how many devices you guys have going on and how that got started. I think you were just kind of talking about the getting started, but rough kind of estimate on that too.
So our initial purchase of Surface devices were 1,500 across Pro laptop and Book 2. All of them were enrolled right out of the gate in AutoPilot. We didn't start rolling that out as we're going through making sure all of our policies, applications, everything's ready to go for our end users. So we still are sitting at about 25 computers that we keep resetting, we keep going back and forth, making sure that all the applications and everything is there. We still need to get our risk review and everything else, make sure that we satisfy enterprise security to make sure that everything meets what our current standards are. So we're actually going to be piloting with them next month, give them devices, just make sure that everything meets their needs. Once we get their buy-in, we're we're going to roll out to individual users here and there across the company. Start doing some additional testing, see if there's anything that we missed on the application side, their configurations. And come January is when we're getting ready to start.
Very cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah, why don't we go to this side here while we switch users, and you can go next.
Hi, yes, so one thing that I don't hear about is cost. So for your enterprise, and being that you guys are a customer, was the cost just the 1,500 people? Were you fully on-prem prior and went, cloud? What kind of licensing did you have prior, and what did it, ballpark, was it a 1,500 people license that you now went to M365?
So that one on the cost, I'm not sure, because that's all of our E3 license and everything else. So that's
And
pretty
so
much
in
all
the
included.
Andersen example, you guys pre-owned M365 as a starting point.
Yes.
Okay, so you already owned it, so there wasn't,
Before the
Yes.
Surface
Yep.
products. Yes.
okay.
Yeah. So just to be clear then, so the AutoPilot prerequisites are, from a Microsoft standpoint, Intune, or an MDM solution. But Intune, as I mentioned before, we build our stuff together. And then Azure Active Directory Premium. And from there, it's a la carte, if you will, or if you want to add Office Pro Plus into that. So they were in a really good position to take advantage of it. I think probably the primary cost was the device cost itself. AutoPilot does not have a device license or any sort of license with it. And so when you talk about total cost of ownership and reducing costs out of the gate, you're getting that return on that investment very, very quickly, as opposed to having to recapture some of the cost for any licensing on that side. But I think we're still, we've done some work. SHI has been involved in trying to quantify that. I've had some customers anywhere from $50 for customers that are really good at imaging. They save themselves about $50 a device. To some of the other customers I've worked with, I've seen as high as $180 a device. That's from the AutoPilot standpoint. And again, that'll flex based on the efficiency of your organization and some of that other stuff, but I hope that helps. Go ahead. I hope that's okay to help you guys
No,
with
that's
that.
fine.
All right.
I have a similar question on the hardware. Like, do you guys have what machines were you replacing, and were your savings mostly hardware, or was it mostly the management side of it going to Surfaces and Intune? Because I guess for an example, like if somebody breaks a machine, I assume you have to have a stockpile of machines on hand for them to re-enroll with, since they're not really serviceable on site.
That is correct. So I can tell you we did a full RFP before we chose Microsoft. We had 4 vendors. Microsoft came through with a heck of a deal for us, and they were the clear choice. We really didn't have anyone else that did the RFP and could give us all of the additional services that we need to be successful. And just to be really open disclosure, typically to deploy one computer costs me $204. There's that much effort put into it by a person. So by going to these devices and services, it's a huge cost savings for us.
And to touch on your second part, we do have stock on hand.
Yes.
Yes.
We have stock.
And to be clear, that's a operational choice, right, for you
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
We do have a lot of customers that'll do the next day replacement and advanced replacement options as well, but that's all right. Next question.
Hi there.
Hi.
I'm working for a water utility. I'm just curious. We have lots of field engineers now that they get, too many emergency calls every day, and they have to jump in the field and replace or report back for the problems. And I was just curious, would it be, in your opinion, beneficial, to get the Windows AutoPilot in such a case?
Absolutely. I think anybody would
What
actually
help,
benefit.
actually. I'm just, yeah.
Yep. I think anybody would benefit from the AutoPilot experience. If push came to shove, we could actually send one of our technicians or one of our employees to the Microsoft store to pick one up right out of the gate. So if they were to drop a device, lose it, do whatever, they could actually just go to the Microsoft store. We could actually get the hash, add it to Intune, and then they could provision themselves.
But let's
So-
be really clear about this, because the Office 365 products are anything, anywhere, anytime, on any device. It's so much less critical today when, I mean, it was a little bit of an exaggeration breaking a PC, because I don't know who doesn't have a phone that they can't pull their documents up on, or who doesn't have a home computer, or who doesn't have another device that they can go get their information. So it's much less critical that you have inventory like we're talking about, or the ability to next day mail. We, in the managed services area, we don't have frantic customers anymore.
Excellent, excellent. I think we're just about ready for a draw. So let me leave you with this. Hopefully you've had a chance to glance over the slide that's been up there for a while. You know, the message I think was that we wanted to land was kind of multifaceted, right? Is Pam talked about that kind of the user as the customer and that focus on driving that level of experience with the customers within their organization, and things like talent retention and those kind of things are really important to their culture, and we appreciate that. As I mentioned as well, though, they had some building blocks in place already, which enabled them to get out of the gate fast with this and start to see some value. It also has to be said, Andersen is a premium brand in their industry, and that was one of the things that I think really resonated well between the Surface brand and the Andersen brand. I know that Panos had some conversations with some of your executives as well, and that was part of the conversation. And so that appreciation existed as well. But you can see then as well just some of the value proposition from the front end, from the ROI standpoint. And if you haven't seen the Forrester document that's been published on Microsoft 365 and Surface together, it's worth a look. When you partner that up with the back-end total cost of ownership savings that they've started to see with AutoPilot, it gets a pretty substantial story. So I appreciate you guys coming out and helping tell the story a little bit today, and some of the great questions. I think we are ready to draw. Thank you. All right.
Apparently he needs a new device.
And you actually have the device here? Wow, it's actually in the house. All right. I'm going to assume the first set of these numbers everybody has. 847. Everybody, put your hand up if I've called your number so far. I like to play the game this way. All right. So 84704. Oh, keep. All right. Let's see what we got here. The intensity's building in here, isn't it? I'm starting to sweat a little bit. 9.
Oh.
All right. So who's still left? If you're still left, then stand up for me. Let's really do this fun. There you go. You guys are great. All right, so to recap, 847049. And what do you got? What's your last number? Well, what do you have? Oh, touche. Last number is 9. There you go. All right. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have had a great week, and thanks for spending some time with us. If you have any questions, we'll have these guys hang around a little bit. And we'll look forward to catching up with you. Thanks.